Hello everybody, Kilimanjaro 808. Long time no see, guys. Just thought I'd like to make a little video on one of my many projects I got going on here at the Kilimanjaro 808 headquarters. This is a Cybergun licensed King Arms manufactured Model 1928A1 submachine gun, otherwise known as the Tommy gun or the Thompson. Okay, thought my camera was shaking for a bit. Maybe it's my hand. So, as you can see right off the bat, this is not what it looks like stock. I have redone the imitation wood, because this is imitation wood, to look like real wood, simply by dyeing it with wood stain, restaining it essentially. I know it has the wrong stock. Matter of fact, I have the right type of stock to make it a complete 1928A1. This one's made by Savage Arms. I am working on it, as you can see. Note to self, mounting holes for the airsoft one are different from the real one. As you can see right here, there's a big difference of where the mounting hole is on the real one and where the mounting hole is for the airsoft one. I got mine with a cross bolt. I still gotta carve out the back, drill out. I managed to pick this sucker up recently too. The very hard to find milled steel sliding stock mechanism. I think that's what it's called. The sliding stock is gonna have no effect on the King Arms Tommy gun because the wires pass through, and it would, and if they worked, it would pretty much catch the wires and destroy your wiring. The only one who got that right and functional was Aries. Got a little video on that coming up too. I actually got two of those suckers now. Very happy. So I'll do a little overview on that, and maybe even a comparison video between that and this Tommy gun. So yeah, I do have to modify this a little bit for the wires to pass through and whatnot. There's a little article online of a guy doing it by the name of M1 Pencil. And of course, all the woodworking back here, and then doing all the further woodworking, a little bit of carpentry to make it go from this to that. Just some staining. The staining is actually kind of the fun part. It's kind of like, just very much like painting. The hard part is all the body work. The fun part is painting. Well, I guess the same with woodwork. Okay, so metal and plastic parts. I'll just run through you real fast. Plastic, plastic, plastic. It's all, I have obviously altered it to make it look like wood. I don't like that cheap cedar, ugly looking plastic crap that comes on these replicas. I got tired of it, so voila, I made it like that. Okay. Metal barrel, outer barrel, front sight cuts compensator, upper and lower receiver. Yes. Note to self and to others listening out here, the lower on the Tokyo Marui M1A1 is actually plastic, but good reinforced solid plastic, so don't worry about it. I happen to have one of those also at the right here at Kilimanjaro 808 headquarters. Metal mag, release, trigger. Let's see, even the trigger guard is metal. It is an alloy metal. Usually it's made of some sort of bits of aluminum and lightweight steel, I want to say. Not entirely steel. It would be the steel body and barrel. Tommy gun would be more closer to like 14 pounds loaded. This weighs more in at like 10 to 11 pounds. So we're not, it's there, but not super quite there yet. But good enough. Good enough. Pivot plate, charging handle, whoa. Lyman rear sight. And this one, unlike the Ares one, is fully functional and can lock in place. I'm sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. I don't have a phone case for this iPhone 8, which it acts as my iPod and my camera, but we'll do it what we can, to the best we can, right here, right now. So that can move up and down. This can lock right here. I was just playing with it the other night. Oh, maybe I turn it that way. Yeah, well, anyway, you have a peephole rear sight when you lift it up. You can see the notch through the charging handle as it should be, just like on the real thing. And your front sight. Well, that's how I like to use it. Beautiful, ain't it? The charging handle goes about a quarter of a way. There's a little slide piece underneath made of aluminum. This is an electric blowback, so every time you shoot it, which I've not done yet, I've just modified it, this charging handle will move forwards and backwards. I may disable it. We'll have to see as time goes by. I said metal out of barrel. Of course, metal sling loops, sling swivels, sling mounts, whatever you want to call it. In the World War II reenactment community, we call them sling swivels because it does this. But sling mount also works. Metal selectors, switches, different as we've discussed in previous videos with Tommy guns. As you know already, I'm a very big Thompson nut. These are actually different from the M1928A1 and also the 1921 Thompson. This 1921 Thompson has slightly different selectors. And the M1 and the M1928A1 Tommies have very noticeably different selector switches on that receiver. Okay, so I've discussed the wood, which is actually plastic. The one thing you'll notice, obviously, is the handguard I managed to put onto here. This one I did differently from another Tommy gun that I did some years back, which is my 2013 King Arms 1928 Thompson. That one, the handguard was modified to fit onto the barrel. This one I actually cut with a hacksaw the metal plate underneath to fit the handguard, and it's still not sitting perfect. You can see there's some float to it. It's getting better. I wanted to sit more flush like that. I will have to trim the handguard a little bit. I mean the plate which the handguard mounts to get it to sit a little bit better. This was a bitch to put on. I mean modify, and more so to get this handguard on. I'm not even using the right screw. You can see I'm using the stainless flathead panhead screw that I just found laying around. So, and I got, actually, you can't see it, but there's a washer I had on top, and I had to fish that son of a bitch in with a little skinny screwdriver. Yeah, it was no easy task getting this thing on. People think, oh, it'll mount right on. No, not quite. You will have to modify accordingly to get that thing to even sit proper. So if you're gonna do this, get ready to get your hands dirty and have your work cut out for you. You're gonna be there for quite a while. And another mod you can see, I modified a mid-cap mag to look like a 20-round mag. These were, as I've discussed in previous videos, were used more often than the 30-rounders, which came later in the war. And definitely used a lot more than the drums. The drums were unreliable, noisy, cool looking, but noisy, and weighed a lot. It's a lot of weight to carry around with those 50-round drums. But these were very common, from 42 to 45. you saw a lot of these. If you go back to look at pictures of GIs using this in both the European and Pacific theaters, you see a lot of these 20-round magazines being used. A lot of them. So yeah, that covers the Tommy gun pretty much, this one in particular. When I get the stock on, I may make an update video on or the comparison video between this and the Ares 1921 electric blowback that I have. As I mentioned earlier, I have 2 of them now. I'm very, very happy to have 2 of them. They're extremely hard to get, unbelievably hard to get. And as everybody knows here, I'm a big Thompson, M1 carbine, M1 Garand nutcase. I just love them. And 1911s too. I love my 1911s. Matter of fact, I just picked up a Marui 1928A1 with a garter kit that has joined the ranks of this collection, this little arsenal I have. And guys, I'm getting more and more. I'm trying to make space for more stuff. On a personal, I really feel that this is going to be the year, my best year for this hobby, essentially. World War II reenacting, airsoft. So that covers my little 1928A1. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I do have another one like this. I was going to make it into like a British style 1928, brand new in the box. Looks nothing like this. I'm very happy how my work came out so far. It's gonna sit like this for a little bit because the hardware for the stock, particularly the butt plate that's supposed to mount to the back over here, is out of stock everywhere. Reproduction, or the only see, I'm getting all stuck trying to compose words. Well, anyway, the 1928 butt plate is hard to find. If you try to look for an original, you have to get lucky on eBay. There are no reproductions available at the moment, so I'm just waiting for that. When that comes back in, and when it does, I'll get right back to work on this stock. I really want to mount it to this gun. It'll just look much better with the right components, the right stock on. This slider piece, very interesting. And if I screw up this stock, don't worry, I got another one inside the closet there. So already, as you can see, I had messed up that area right there. I bought a second stock just in case something goes real bad with this by my own doing. Yeah, guys, a lot of developments happening as I posted the other day. I really feel this is probably going to be the year, man. Probably bigger than 2017, which holds the record right now. And I'm catching up on things where I left behind, and I'm adding even more to the pot. Alright guys, I gotta get some rest. Got work tomorrow. Take care.